Your Excellencies, our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable William Kaboko, Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Digital Economy, the ministers from across the continent, our ambassadors who are present with us here this morning, members of parliament led by the chair of ICT, that is Communication, Information and Innovation, Honorable John Kiarie, the industry leaders who are here, captains, colleagues, professionals, good morning. It's indeed an exciting moment for us to be here for the 14th time. As a country, let's clap and celebrate. This is indeed a major milestone for a country and for a region to give an event alive and running for 15 years. We missed only 1 year during COVID period, but we have faithfully kept the promise and ensured Connected series continued, starting from humble backgrounds, where CEO mentioned a group of 500 people, going on until last year when Continental, and so over 40 countries put a start to another level for Connected series. At the ministry, we are really blessed to have our captain, Cabinet Secretary William Kaboko, and with me is my colleague PS. We have two state departments under the ministry. We have the State Department, which I lead, ICT and digital economy, and also broadcasting and telecommunications. So before I make some remarks, I invite my colleague, PS Isaboke, to just give a few remarks. Karibu, PS.
Thank you, my brother PS. I think those of you who observe very carefully will see that there are a couple of common features between me and my colleague here. So, what can I say? So, our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable William Kavogo, ministers present, excellencies, honorable guests, captains of industry, colleagues who have actually come to join us on this great occasion. As you've heard, my name is Stephen Isaboke. I just joined the ministry with the Honorable Minister and my colleague here as the new PS for Broadcasting and Telecoms. As a matter of fact, I was one of you. I was actually in private sector, where I've actually spent a good portion of my working career. Then I was convinced to actually join this winning side, and obviously work out things so that we can actually make life easier for yourselves, facilitate, and really make the industry work, because as a country, we need this sector. Just to say one or two remarks, and the Waziri knows I'm normally very brief, is to say we in broadcasting and telecoms basically apply the innovation and the knowledge that ICT innovation brings in. So broadcasting is one of the oldest means of communication, but it has also actually now gone through the rigors in Kenya. Kenya actually pioneered in terms of digitizing. We were the first country to actually fully switch off analog and switch to digital in 2015. If many of you can remember, please give a clap to that. And through that switching off, we were then able to give the digital dividend of the spectrum to telcos. That's how Safaricom, Airtel, and the operators ended up launching 4G, 5G, which in fact is now what we are enjoying, with obviously the greatest connectivity, internet speed that you actually can experience anywhere in the world. I mean, your internet speed in Nairobi or Mombasa, here where we are, will be similar experience in London, New York, wherever you are. So that actually coming out of pioneering. So in a sense then, for me, just as I close, I think the whole area of tech and transformation is actually a journey, and Kenya has always been pioneering and actually leading the rest of Africa. As I've said, digital migration we led. Some countries have actually still not migrated, as you'll know. in the new frontier where AI, data, and all these things are going to lead in the fourth industrial revolution. Again, we're leading not just by this conference, but in fact, what the Honorable Minister and the government of His Excellency William Ruto is actually implementing the digital superhighway and creative economy. If you look at the pillars of the current government, digital is actually at the heart of it. And we're not talking, we're actually showing. Yesterday, the minister was actually launching a digital hub down here, just a few kilometers down the road, with girls and boys from the village being digitized. For me, that's probably the most practical example of how we can apply digital sort of economy, how we can apply data, how we can apply indeed sort of the shift from your old economy to the new economy, which is actually what we are about. So once again, thank you for sparing your time to actually join us. Let's actually get the debate going in terms of where is the next frontier in terms of applying technology, AI, for example, in the government. And a lot of it is actually going on. We don't always shout out about our success stories, but we do have a lot of good cases. I mean, for example, mobile money was actually a Kenyan success story. It actually started from Kenya. A round of applause for that. We take it for granted, but no one else had actually sent money through mobile to mobile until we did it in Kenya, and then the rest of the world followed, and many, many other examples. So we hope that there'll be more new innovations coming from here. And as a country, as Waziri will actually tell you, we are very open to investment, very open to new ideas, innovation, and we welcome, obviously, foreign participants in our great economy. With those few remarks, I thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, PS. And indeed, he comes with quite rich history being part of this sector. And he says we don't shout much about what we do, but I think it's important that we actually look back and celebrate the journey we've walked as a country, as a region, and also at a continental level. First, I want to recognize those who came before us, the founders like Pitange and Demo, who laid strong foundations. Let's clap for it. CS Kakwe, they laid strong foundation. Engineer Reke, PS Chalo, Chiromo Chieng, CS Matiangi was also here, and many others who have left a mark in their journey when they went through this station. Today, we celebrate great achievements as a country and also as a region. I would want to talk about some of the few successes that we have. The connectivity we've seen, national optical fiber infrastructure that we built in Kenya, it arose from these conversations of connected series. And as a country, we celebrate the milestones that we've done and the strong commitment now being driven by CS William Kaboko with the objective now to do, I think, almost 10 times what we've done in the last several years. And we are committed to see that happens. And we are not doing only as Kenya. We thank our partners, World Bank. We've just finished connectivity to the border of Kenya and South Sudan. And South Sudan is having conversations with World Bank to extend from the border of Kenya to Juba. And we look forward to going to Central African Republic and all the way to Cameroon and connecting to the other side. We are at the border of Uganda, and there is also conversations on extension. We have also conversation towards the north, towards Ethiopia, and we want to see all the way to Djibouti that we have diversified connectivity for the country and also connecting to the region. We were discussing earlier with the minister from Somalia who is here, also discussing how from Kenya on the northern side connect all the way to the Indian Ocean, also through Somalia, and they're having also similar conversations with the World Bank. We are also very proud of what our private sector has done as a country. Airtel, the CEO is here. Safaricom, the several ISPs in our country, you have made us proud. In our capital cities, it is as good as any other top capital in the world in terms of connectivity, the terms of speeds, and the services that are available. We are proud of the work you've done for our country and our region. We celebrate those who have regional offices even here in Nairobi, Airtel, serving several countries, and many other players that are working. We recognize the work you are doing, and even the solution service providers, we appreciate the great work you have done in our region. We've seen also the private sector handling connectivity. Kuku later connectivity from Mombasa through the land, through Nairobi to Uganda, and all the way to South Africa under Umoja Cable project with the aim of extending through a new submarine cable to Australia. These are some of the initiatives that we are very proud, and those conversations have always taken place here. We have had emerging conversations with other partners for additional submarine cables. Yesterday, our cabinet secretary visited one of the first submarine cable landing stations, the Teams cable, here at Mombasa. And we were reflecting the milestones our country has taken over the years, and this has positioned us as a digital hub in the region, and also made it possible for us to connect the rest of the continent and also to be part of the global connected community. My colleague talk about connect services that we have in the digital space. We have over 20,000 services, a great milestone that we have seen. We have business process outsourcing. Yesterday, we had a panel that we discussed about business process outsourcing. It's an emerging space that the continents need to increase its share. Yesterday, during the event sponsored by GIZ, we had this conversation, and the potential for the African continent is huge. And we believe through the sessions here, we'll have more conversations in that space. Open University of Kenya. This is also one conversation that has taken a while, but we are happy today. Over 4,000 students are on the online university here in Kenya, and we really celebrate. One of the announcements which will be coming here in Connected Summit is an initiative with the partnership of ITU, the establishment of open source office here in Kenya. One of the two offices globally that will be established, and we really celebrate that. We've attracted global innovation hubs. We are part of the Timbuktu initiative under UNDP, where we have 10 innovation hubs in the continent, including in Rwanda, in Egypt, and many other countries, and the 10th being in Kenya, focus on green tech. We are also part of Festafele House with the support of German government to establish innovation hubs in the African continent, where we have 4 innovation hubs under that program, one in Dar es Salaam, another one in Rwanda, in Tunisia, and one in Mombasa, just in the coast region where we are today, representing Kenya, positioning the country as part of global innovation hubs. We've seen the progress and development of Concert Technopolis, which we encourage you to visit. A very strong statement by Kenya on smart cities, innovation, and technology. We've seen now the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology ready for launch, and its doors open later this year. These are some of the successes that we need to talk about it, because through this program, through this series, we've had conversations about these initiatives, and we believe these are the results of the efforts of all of us here. We've not been able to achieve this on our own. We've worked also with the legislative arm of government. More importantly was to establish a digital hub in every ward of our country. This was a very ambitious program under what we call the Kenya Digital Master Plan, which is a $5 billion initiative. It would be impossible to achieve or access the funding without the partnership of various arms of government. One major initiative was to amend the national government CDF law so that each member of parliament can be able to access funds to build a digital hub, one in every ward. And this initiative has taken off. Your Excellencies and the Minister, last week, Saturday, our Cabinet Secretary did a foundation laying of one such facility where the funds is not from the sources we've been using, but from the national government CDF to build a digital hub at the world level. And this is one of the 300 size digital hubs taking place in the country, and our target is to have 1,450. And I'll stop there. And before, I would want to recognize the members of parliament who are here, but I'll give that honor to the chair of the Information, Communication and Innovation Committee, Honorable John Kiarie, to introduce them and just make a few remarks.
Good morning, Africa. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to this beautiful resort city of Diani in magical Kenya. Karibuni, Kenya. Now, we are talking about a connected Africa. And the question begs, what is this connected Africa? And to my mind, I think a connected Africa is about three things: a connected ambition and a connected aspiration, where Africa moves towards answering the question that Frantz Fanon posed to us when he said that every generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission and choose to either fulfill it or to forfeit it. We are that generation that must decide to onboard Africa onto the fourth industrial revolution. Secondly, I think a connected Africa ought to be about connected development. There is a place for co-creation, collaboration between individual developers, between organizations, between corporates, between governments, and between nations in Africa. I also believe that a connected Africa ought to be about connected innovation. We must stop as Africa developing and innovating in silos. When we co-create, when we co-innovate, I believe that we shall be moving towards a place where Africa stamps its authority in this new world. And how we are doing that for us in Kenya is seeking collaborations across our organizations, across government agencies, and even across the three arms of government, where, for example, as PS Tanui says, we went to Parliament and changed the law to allow for Kenya to be able to build 1,450 innovation hubs by utilizing the National Government Constituency Development Fund. And what that does for us is that in every single village of Kenya, youth and people from the most far-flung areas of this country will be able to be sitting somewhere in an innovation hub, feeding in data that is so homegrown, data that is so authentic to their corner of the world, in a way that now our data starts feeding into the language models that are speaking to the new development in AI. My thinking is that we as Africa, connected Africa, can change the trends, where today AI is depending on large languages like English, speaking to around 46.5% of all the data that is being fed to the language models. That can change to a place where the language which I speak, Gikuyu, can be onboarded to this fourth industrial revolution by taking this connectivity to the people out there in the villages. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for coming to Kenya for this Connected Africa. And on behalf of the Clerk of the National Assembly and the Speaker of the National Assembly, I want to say again, Karibu to Diani and Karibu to Kenya. Here with me, I've got members of Parliament who sit in the Committee of Communication, Information and Innovation, which we pride ourselves as the committee of the future in Parliament. I'd like to call any member of Parliament who is in this gathering to please stand up kindly. Ladies and gentlemen, right there is a man from the county that is housing the Konza Technopolis. He himself, a mathematician and a pioneering computer engineer, the one and only Honorable Erastus Kivasu from Boni constituency. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and Karibu Katibu. Thank you very much.